Hello, this is Brian again. So this will be my third clip, most likely my last. So I'm getting close to, I want to say it's Syracuse Road or Syracuse Drive, I think is the name of the little residential street that cuts through here. If I find out differently, I'll put it in the description of the video. But for a really short hike, man, you really can't go wrong with these little finger canyons. If you got a good trail, you can avoid brushing up against poison oak and stuff like that. You really go to town on one of these little adventure hikes. Always cool little hidden tidbits. A couple little coast live oaks over here. Let's see, I'm going to go up this little side trail for a minute. See if there's anything lurking around here. It was a little too close to private property. I was going to see if this was a little used trail, but I was going to go try to see if I could find some chalk dudleyias. Now I pointed out a few of them in the first clip. I was first walking through here. A nice little upright lemonade sumac, or lemonade berry. I don't know what it is about them, besides being native plants, of course. I don't know what it is about them, they're just so cool looking. Alright, time to cross with care. Kind of a blind curve there. Yep, see what I mean? Yeah, so that's why you gotta just cut cross carefully. And there's the 52 we're above it. And there's San Clemente Canyon's main area over there. This will be likely my last clip, because this is going to be going back the way I came, back to San Clemente Canyon. And I love it when these lemonade berries or lemonade sumacs, they get so big, they sprawl out, they cover a lot of ground. So if you ever watch my spotlight video on lemonade berry or lemonade sumac, I call it lemonade sumac. That's what I learned as a kid. Old habits, hard to break. And I don't care to break it because it is a sumac. It's just that I believe this is all part of one plant. So they can cover a lot of ground. I just loved these ever since I was a kid. This is one of the first native plants I learned about as a kid. Was lemonade berry or lemonade sumac, Rus integrifolia. So there's always been a fascination with those for me. My friend Brett, you've probably seen him on a couple of my videos. He's been able to successfully germinate those without fire or anything. If I remember correctly, I think what he did is he soaked the seeds of it, and then he planted them, and he had some of them germinate. So he's been able to germinate Rus integrifolia. So that was a few years ago. Never forget, he was staying with me for a little while, and he germinated them, and he had them on my patio. So I was just always admiring them, admiring his lemonade sumac seedlings. So yeah, this is probably the least interesting part here. But even I can find things of interest in these little places that most people would just call boring little passageways. Like a coyote brush, another thicket lemonade sumac, and some small coast live oak trees. So we're just about to... Oh, and a baby lemonade sumac right here. So even during these kind of so-called bland portions, even I could find something interesting, or at least interesting to me. Alright, so now time to start heading back. So we just follow this little trail, just follow it all the way back. No big deal. Whoa. Good old Great Basin fence lizard. If you hear me say Great Basin fence lizard, we'll also just call them Western fence lizards, or a lot of people call them blue bellies because of the blue patches under their belly, which is actually pretty common in the genus Scaloporus, to which fence lizards belong, with spiny lizards and stuff like that. It's definitely one of the most common lizards you'll ever see. Is that little guy right there. I've seen him at sea level. I've seen him up, probably I've seen him as high as at least 8,000 feet. So sometimes if I hear rustling, sometimes I have to stop and think, ooh, could it be another snake species? I wonder if I should go across this. It's like a little walkway here. I think this will lead to the main trail. I should be able to get back anyways. Ooh, an orange-throated whiptail again. It's like the 5th one I've seen today. Aspidoscelis hyperifera. That was the 5th western whiptail. I mean, orange-throated whiptail. They're a lot smaller than western whiptails. Western whiptails are quite large. Larger than your fence lizards and about the size of your alligator lizards. I haven't seen any. Well, I've seen alligator lizards near my house in Orange County occasionally. I'd get a couple of them. And when I was moving out, I remember removing all those plants I had, and I remember a young juvenile alligator lizard, San Diego alligator lizard, wriggling by me. I was like, oh man. But you know me, I'm also looking for amphibians. And here's the next interesting plant sighting. What the heck is this? Well, I think it's it's an arroyo willow. I was thinking it looked like an oak. I thought it was another one of those interesting Engelmann lookalikes. But it was an arroyo willow. I was like, oh boy. So I'm looking here, trying to see if there's anything interesting popping up. Mostly just see mosquito fish. A lot of young mosquito fish in there. Sometimes when you get these big reeds and cattails and stuff, sometimes you'll get lucky and see some amphibians. Fortunately, haven't seen any tree frogs, which would definitely be the ultimate experience. I think the only amphibian I've ever been able to catch on camera was western toad. In fact, since moving back from New Jersey back to California, western toad I think is the only amphibian I've ever seen. And I never saw it as a kid, and then I see it as an adult. I've seen it a good few times already. Alright, so this is going to join the main trail. Take us past these old sycamores. So I'm just going to take this back to Genesee. Well, actually, no. I'm taking it back to Regents. I gotta go back to Regents. That goes to Genesee. This is going back to Regents where I parked. So. It could be a very verdant plant, very verdant, viney shrub. But, yeah, very short hike. One cool thing is when you're driving along 52 in this area, driving past all these old sycamores, it's just so awesome to see them. Old Platanus racemosa. Remember, I think this hill right here used to be a cardboard sledding hill. I think back in the day, I think people used to go up the hill with big old slabs of cardboard and ride down on their behinds, slide down the hill. If I remember correctly, I think this was the hill that used to be used for that purpose. Nowadays you can't. You can't go up. You can't even walk up there. Oh, the air's so nice here. It's probably getting hot where I live in Santee. You'll probably see a lot of my videos in this canyon going forward. I mean, who knows? The next species of snake I haven't seen before, stuff like that. It's gonna keep me coming back to this place time and time again. This is where I grew up as a kid. So sometimes you can go back. Don't ever count that possibility out that you can't go back. That expression you hear sometimes. You can. You can go back. And of course, you can go up towards Biltmore Street along that trail there. I've done that before. It's a beautiful hike. I don't think I'm going to do it today. I think I'm going to go off to another spot and poke around, see what kind of interesting things I can find. Oh, yeah. Probably surprised I've never done a spotlight on Western Poison Oak. Well, that's definitely something I'll definitely plan on doing one day. Just as long as I can do it from a safe distance. So I ain't trying to touch it to look at any of the salient features, but I mean, as being a native plant here, it's definitely something we're talking about, besides just being a plant to avoid touching at all costs. I mean, it's part of our ecosystem, thus does deserve some appreciation. But, right now it just smells so spicy over here. It's predominantly because of our Artemisia californica. Ooh, and here's Palmer Sagewort in bloom, Artemisia palmeri, another Artemisia species found here. In fact, one of at least three Artemisia species here in this canyon. In fact, they're all next to each other. Artemisia palmeri, Palmer Sagewort, these little flower heads. That is Douglas Mugwort, Artemisia douglasiana, And of course, the woodiest of the three. Ooh, a woodpecker. I don't know if that's a sapsucker or an acorn woodpecker. I think it's an acorn woodpecker. And here's Artemisia californica. Sorry for the distraction. So Artemisia californica, California sagebrush. Artemisia palmeri, Palmer sagewort. Artemisia douglasiana, Douglas Mugwort. There they are, all in one easy shot. But yep, I think that might be kind of small for an acorn woodpecker. I don't know. There are other woodpeckers that have reddish heads on them, but if not, it's probably. There they go again. Woodpeckers. Just about back at the parking area, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this little adventure, and I'll see you on the next episode.